Hello. So, what I want to talk about a little bit right now is how to take some of that and apply it to actually sending emails. As we know, emails are things we're sending a lot of, everybody's doing it. And this is where we're sending information to students that's vital. So, we want to make sure that they're actually getting those messages as clearly and as accessibly as possible. So, right here, I'm in the web version of Outlook. I will also show you how to do the app version. But one thing we talked about a lot today was talking about how you have a better web signature. So, to change your signature, simply go to the settings, go to compose and reply, and what you'll see right here is what I've got for my Outlook web signature. This is the old signature that I had, and this is the one that I personally found when I sent messages to students through Outlook and sent it into Canvas. All of this stuff turned up as web links, gobbledygook. It just made it so hard for students to understand exactly what was going on. I do love the fact that these seem to actually say, look, this will take you to our Facebook, to our LinkedIn, and all of that. But we also have to understand that how things are transferring back and forth, which is why I removed it. Now we can actually go in here, and these are at least they're alt tagged, and I made sure I did that. So everything was alt tagged, so it took them to a different link as soon as they clicked on that. That is fabulous. And I said alt tagging is a great way to send them to a website too. These particular things, again, are not great honors. We deserve them, but they are not alt tagged. How to do that? Right click on them and say add alternate text. Again, I do recommend you guys do this at department level. Have one person do all the work, and then everyone can copy them over and make sure that you've got everything in there the right way. So always make sure you're actually paying attention to that when you're putting stuff in. You can also do things like make sure that people understand the difference, and you can say, well, listen, my name is the most important thing. You can do things like, let's set my name as the header then. That way, the students can actually start seeing what that difference is. That will be actually heading to as far as a she, her. So, these are different things that you can do in order to edit this and make it a lot more accessible for your students. Now, if you say, listen, I don't want she, her to be that large, again, you can always decrease the font size. That's easy enough to do. You can change it to a different font. Or again, let's make the she, her just a little bit smaller because it's a lot going on. And of course, you can change the color on that. Right now, it is an accessible light blue, but we can turn it into a darker blue, and that's going to have the appropriate contrast once you make it a little bit bigger, to be honest. So all of those things can start making, again, your signature a lot easier for students to do. Now, I'm going to show you the signature that I actually use most of the time, which is my cleaner signature. That's one that I wanted to have it be accessible. It's slimming things down. She, her. Berkeley College, again, does take you to that web link, so that alternate text actually takes you to the website. But you can also, again, add different things in here. I do recommend this if there's certain forms, certain places you want students to go. You can include that right in there by selecting this, going to the link, and adding a link where they can actually go to learn more. So if you're, for example, I'll look at financial aid and you want them FAFSA, I know you guys love FAFSA, FAFSA, FAFSA. You want them to do that, you could say right there in your signature for every student to see. Now, while I told you to slim things down and never do a website like this, in this particular case, I made that decision. It is a short web link, so it is not very irritating. And again, this is because the emails go from here and into Canvas where a lot of that layout gets changed. And I still want my students to know from every email how to click on my Zoom link in case they need me. So that is a conscious decision. And again, we can start shortening some of those URLs to make it a little bit easier. In other cases, I might say, click here for my Zoom, and the book Time to Meet Me, which again is in some of light blue, that's directly out of Outlook, and that's where they can follow that directly to my website. So once you've actually done that, that's going to make a big difference as far as all of that stuff that might be confusing students. Now, when we actually look at, and I'll just finish that here, when you actually look at what's going on in the web version, it's the same thing. Click on the cog for settings, click on the signatures button, it's just in a slightly different place, and you can again pick your different ones. I have the cleaner signature and I have the other one, and make sure that you've actually defaulted it to the signature that you want in case you have a number of different signatures that you use. Now let's look at sending a message. Now, if we look at new mail, that's where we're going to start seeing it being similar both on the web as well as the app. And I do recommend make sure that you're posting things that actually have that content, use those headers, use those links. So in this case, progress in the course is the subject that I'm putting in here, and that's a little bit vague, I have to be honest. So, how about something like, you are doing great in this course. And this is a message that I send out to students around the progress time where I'd like to actually remind them whether they need to check Canvas, whether they need to be checking their alternate email in order to actually go there and find it. So in this case, I want to make sure it's a little bit bolder. So we're going to take that and we're going to add just a few little extra things to make this actually pop. For instance, right here, I am sending them to their Engage portal for that email that they never check. So what do we want to do here? We want to make sure we highlight Engage portal and we give them a link directly to engage.berkeleycollege.edu, because that way, I think that's the website. Um, that way, they're right in there and they can click right on it. So you can say, make sure you access it through the email link on the Engage portal. You're sending them right there, and that's going to double their chances, probably triple or quadruple their chances that they're actually going to do something about it. Now, we often want to add things like headers. So you can go here to this little styles editor, and it's only a few styles in email, but that's fine. Put that as the header, and you're going to start seeing things. Now, I also want to say, listen, there's like two things I want them to do. So why don't we get in some bullets and we're going to get some more chances. However, take this opportunity to do this. And here's the second one. If they see two bullets, two things to do, they are going to be considerably more likely. Or if you're giving them steps on how to do something, you can say, listen, here are the two things I need you to do today. I need you to schedule an appointment. I need you to meet with somebody else. So all of that is going to start making a real big difference. And again, you can start finding all of those different functions by looking for them in that bar. The same thing goes with the on site or on the web version. So again, just take into consideration using these different things and making sure that what you're sending off to students is a lot more accessible. I hope this helps and have a great night.